Designer Bruce Williams of QQP will soon be bringing us a war game from a futuristic world of peace, 1,000 years in the future.
Peace has broken out everywhere in the last 500 years of this 1,000 years forward. As a result, all history books of war, all weapons of war, all knowledge of war have been burnt and thrown away because everything is peaceful and docile and everybody's happy. And there's no movies, no books, everything has been destroyed. There's absolutely nothing. There's not even a record that there was a war ever fought, World War II or Napoleonic or whatever.
Only the highest members of the benevolent planetary government are privy to the secret that war ever existed, and there are no problems until a faction of human society that remembers war decides that they want to take over. Left without even memories of tactics, the peaceful humans struggle to defend themselves. This is the opening storyline in Battles in Time, a gigantic strategy game coming soon from QQP. The highest leaders of Earth remember war, and to preserve the peace of the planet, you will too. Crude time travel has been developed, and the one who learns the most about warfare will lead the defending forces. Earth's administrators have formulated a plan.
With this new time machine, they've taken some of their most brilliant middle-aged people that they could muster up, and they said, well, go back in time, and the object is to fight different battles.
And whoever fights those battles best becomes the new general, who will lead the forces of a peaceful Earth against the warmongering dissidents. As a plot, it's good. As a game, it promises to be excellent. You'll lead armies in the American Civil War, World War II, ancient Rome, the Napoleonic era, even the Stone Age. Each era will offer its own strategic challenges, and you'll develop the knowledge of fighting and weaponry necessary to preserve peace back in your home time. The whole game will culminate in a massive battle in the future. Battles in Time can be played with up to 4 sides in a battle, and any combination of human and electronic opponents is possible. For a real challenge, take on 3 computerized opponents by yourself. They'll be fighting each other as much as you, but the tide can turn nasty. The battles themselves work on 2 distinct levels, strategic and tactical. On the strategic level, you assign armies that can consist of any mixes of any sorts of forces that you have available. A World War II army might be a mix of armor and artillery, for instance, with bazooka troops and infantry thrown in any mix you prefer. A Roman army might consist mostly of shock troops, or a heavy contingent of archers. The armies are moved across the map with a simple point-and-click interface. You can also field camouflage dummy units to baffle your opponent, particularly opponents not wise enough to make heavy use of reconnaissance.
The fakery that goes on in these maps, the strategic maps, are truly a lot of fun. One of my favorite tactics is I lead an 8 or 9 piece group, we'll say, coming up this coast. The first 2 or 3 are blanks or camouflage. So when he encounters them, he assumes I'm coming up with all blanks, and all of a sudden that's my main army behind him, kind of thing. And I often catch them off guard, and I get behind his lines.
When 2 armies meet, the screen switches to a tactical display, which will look like an animated wargamer's tabletop, complete with leveled hills and terrain. Even city fights, bridges, and more arcane terrain features will be included, with differing emphasis depending on the tactical flavor of the time period you're fighting in. Units are deployed and fighted out here in quick tactical skirmishes, lasting from 1 to 3 rounds. The unit that takes the least amount of loss in that time holds position as the winner. Most battles won't be fought to the bitter end. This will ensure a fast-paced and more authentic simulation of war. All of the displays are friendly and easy to use, and a lot of information will be available to help you get the most out of your forces. Clicking on the units will show not only available targets, but colored symbols showing how much you'll damage them, and whether or not there's a chance of missing. Learn to use these, the computer certainly won't forget to. Strategy games come and go, but the best ones stay with us, and we go back to them time and time again. QQP is dedicated to creating that kind of game with Battles in Time. A game that has been on the mental drawing board for 20 years in the head of designer Bruce Williams. If what we've seen so far is any indication, it looks like Battles in Time will take strategy games and gamers to places they've never been before.